How to describe people's personalities, the good qualities. Remember to watch my mistakes, bloopers, at the end of the video.
Hello. This week's lesson is about describing people. Not their physical, but their personality or their character. Their personality or character shows how they feel, they think, and maybe how they react to situations and how they act. So I'm going to tell you some vocabulary that will be very useful when you read the newspaper about different people. And also it's very useful when you're writing or speaking, because the more vocabulary you have, the more variety you can use, and that will raise your level. So listen to my vocabulary, take a note of it if you want. I'll put the words on the screen and I'll also write it in the comments. So let's start with the idiom, and then we'll have 5 pieces of vocabulary that will help. The idiom I've decided to tell you about is to be the salt of the earth. And it means that the person is very, very good, honest, careful with you, won't hurt you, basically the perfect good person. And in an example, I could say, oh, that man looks a little bit dangerous. And they can tell me, no, he's the salt of the earth. He won't hurt you. You have no problems at all. So, do you know anyone who's the salt of the earth? Honest, good, kind, generous? Now, other pieces of vocabulary. To be level-headed means that you are very sensible and you're not very emotional or very unemotional, and you're logical. So level is flat, so it's not leaning or one thing more than the other. So if someone is level-headed, it means that they are sensible, balanced personality, and they don't take preference for one thing or the other. The second piece is to be honest. I wanted to mention this word because there's a little trick about it. The word honest begins with H, but as you can hear, we say it without the H, so it's honest. It's good that you know then that when we put the article a or an, we classify this word as starting with an O. So it's an honest person. So I could say, my brother was the most honest person I knew, and he's an honest person. Yeah, so an honest person doesn't tell you lies, always tells you the truth. The next piece of vocabulary is a little longer. It's to take responsibility for your actions. This is a wonderful thing to say about someone, because if I say you take responsibility for your actions, it means whatever you do, if it comes out with bad consequences or a bad result, you will say, I did it. And you will look for a solution, and if you need help, you will get the help. The opposite would be if you don't take responsibility for your actions and maybe something goes wrong at work and you say, oh no, it's the other department, nothing to do with me. So the good thing that we say is to take responsibility for their actions. So we could say, for example, this architect who had a problem in the building he built took responsibility for his actions. So he went to the building, he did a survey, he tried to find out what was wrong and tried to solve the situation. The fourth piece is to be open-minded. To be open-minded means, well, open and minded, that you're going to listen to what people say, you're not going to judge immediately, well, maybe never. And you can accept and wait to listen to people who are completely different to yourself. So it could be physical aspect, it could be different religions, different ideals, and you'll just be open to listening to that. It's very good to be open-minded, for example, if you go to a meeting. If you are closed-minded, you won't listen to anybody else's ideas. You'll just be listening to your inner monologue and you won't listen to their ideas because your idea is the best. But we don't need that in a meeting because everybody has to participate. So to be open-minded means you listen, you'll think about everything, and you won't immediately say no. And the last one, which to me is such an important quality for everybody, is to be kind. To be kind is when you are careful with other people, you care about them, you don't want to hurt anybody. So if you are kind, maybe you open the door for someone who has bags, or you smile at someone, or you don't let a dog be hurt, you don't let anybody be hurt if you can help stop that situation. And to be kind could be just tiny actions or very big actions. So for an example for that one, I could say Snow White from Disney, from the fairy tales, was very kind to all the animals and they loved her. But that's it. We have the idiom, to be the salt of the earth, which means you're very good, honest, honorable, and you care about people. To be level-headed, which means you're not going to put one emotion more than another and you're going to be sensible in the situations. We have to be honest, that you don't lie. We have to take responsibility for your actions, so you will say, yes, I did that. To be open-minded, so you will listen without judging people. And to be kind, that you are nice to people. I think all these different qualities are very useful to understand when you read the newspaper or you watch the news or even in books. It gives you extra information rather than if someone says, oh, he's a nice person. And it's like, yeah, nice in what aspect? The personality, what's he like? Right? So, that's it for this week. If you can write down this vocabulary, I'll write it in the comments below. And then try and think of a person who fits each piece of vocabulary. That will help you remember it. Have a great week. This is Kim Griffiths English. I'll talk about describing bad people next week. Bye-bye. Next Friday at 6. Bye.
And now my mistakes. The bloopers.
And I hope you understand me. Yeah. And I could say it about someone who's very honest, who won't tell me something that's not real, that's always going to be generous and helpful to you. The idiom I've chosen to tell you about is called
beep. Remember to like and subscribe, and if you like the video, share it with your friends so they can learn more English too. This is Kim Griffiths English. See you next week.